Good morning. With this tutorial, I want to show you how to use Measure Y attribute tool to calculate some process performance for your DMake projects if your CTQ or Y is an attribute CTQ or attribute Y. First thing you have to know is that when you will open Measure Y attribute Excel file, it will display these tables and graphs. So first, of course, it's pre-filled with data. And you have to know that blue cells are protected. You cannot erase them. But in case there is a formula, you can see the formula, of course, but not change it. So you have some data. Just to have an example, of course, you will remove and clear the data and enter your own data. First thing you will have to enter is your project title. Let's say it's called My Process Improvement Project, and that you measure, let's say, a scrap rate or a DPMO or a roll throughput yield or something else like overall effectiveness of equipment. Yes, this data sheet or worksheet will allow you to either calculate PPM values with defective parts, will allow you to calculate DPMO values with defects per million of opportunities, and also will allow you to calculate roll throughput yield, or if we have industrial version, overall equipment effectiveness. And this table comes also with a sample size calculator. I will unzoom just to show you everything. But you can use to understand if you have enough sample size in your sample when you estimate PPM or DPMO. Okay? This is optional, but it gives you very interesting information, provided you know the historical proportion of defects of your process. Last tools, you will be allowed to categorize your defects with a Pareto chart, and here you have at minimum you can enter 30 categories of defects in your Pareto, and the Pareto will be displayed in order with the most important category of defects first, and you will have a double scale on the right here, which will be the percentage of cumulative defects we have when we add bar 1 with bar 2 here, with bar 3 and bar 4. Okay? And last thing, you will have a pie chart as well, which is the same data represented with a pie chart and not a bar chart with a Pareto. Okay, so of course you will need to enter your own data, and here, as you can see, we are in May, so let's say that my date is 5/24/2019. I am the author, and I can toggle here between industrial version and transactional. With transactional version, we will speak of documents and defects, and we have no OEE calculations, overall effectiveness of equipment. And with industrial version, we are speaking of parts, defective parts, and defects on parts. So this is the only difference, and we have possibility to calculate as well this OEE, or overall effectiveness of equipment, with this table. So given your project Y, you will like to calculate PPM with defective parts or non-conform parts. You would like to calculate DPMO, defects per opportunity. In this table, you will find defects per unit, defects per opportunity, and defects per million of opportunity, which can be translated in Z value, of course. Same thing, you can qualify your data here or here in long term or short term, and of course with these numbers I will have the total long term value, and with a shift value the short term value. Okay, so what it means that when I find 4 non-conform parts with 200 number of parts produced, I have 2% of defects or defective parts, non-conform parts, meaning 98% of good parts. My ppm is 20,000. And if I translate 2% of defective parts with a Z table in a Z value, I will find 2.05. And I will say it's a Z total long-term value, this 2.05, because data are classified, considered long-term. Long-term data includes both common cause variation and special cause variation. If I select short-term, I will have a 2.05 Z total short-term value, and by subtracting 1.5 Z shift value, I will find a Z long-term value. And here you will have the equivalent in terms of probability of defects for this long-term Z value. So you see that you need a sample, 1000 parts, and how many non-conforms? I find 32, and you see that I represent on the pie chart the non-conform and the conform parts. For defects per opportunity, same thing. I have to qualify my data. Are they long-term or short-term? If I collect short-term data, it means that I have only common cause variation in them. If I collect long-term data, it means that I have both common cause variation and special causes variation in my data. So let's say that I have a sample of 1000 parts. Each part has 3 opportunities of defects, and I observe in the 1000 parts 120 defects. I count all defects. One part could have 0 defect, 1 defect, 2 defects, or 3 defects. I count all defects, I need all parts produced, and I say that I have 3 opportunities of defect per unit. If I test on 3 dimensions a part, for example, I have 3 opportunities of defects. So the DPU will be 120 defects divided by 1000 parts. Defects per unit in average will be 0.12. And DPO will be the same DPU divided by the number of opportunities of defects per unit, so 3. So I will find 0.04. In terms of percentage, it will be a percentage of defects per opportunity of 4%. And if I want DPMO, defects per million of opportunities, I multiply by 1 million, so it will give me 40,000 DPMO. If I take a Z table, I have a Z equivalent value, and because I qualify my data as long-term, what I find is the Z total long-term value of 1.75 when I have 4% of defects per opportunity, or 40,000 defects per million of opportunity. If I add the shift value to Z long-term, I will find Z short-term 3.25. And Z short-term value means this short-term probability of defects, which is very low. Third thing I can do with my Y attribute, if I want to have in my project the whole throughput yield calculation to express to display my process performance. I can calculate for many steps or operations in my process individual throughput yields called YTP1, YTP2, YTP3, YTP4. In that case, I limit it to 6 steps, 6 operations, and I enter how many units are coming through this operation 1 or step 1, in my case 100, how many scraps, and how many reworks in these steps. If I have 0 scraps and 3 reworks, the wide throughput yield at step 1 or operation 1 is 97%. 3 reworks divided by 100, giving 3%, and the yield, throughput yield, is 97% in operation 1. I do the same for operation 2, operation 3, and at the end, I will have to calculate the whole throughput yield, YRT value, which is 78.06%, and in fact, which is the multiplications of this YTP1 multiplied by this YTP2, multiplied by YTP3, multiplied by YTP4, YTP5, and YTP6. And as you can see, you have the formula here displayed, but protected, of course. So this is this table that you will use for a YRT calculation in your project. If you want to calculate OEE, or overall equipment effectiveness ratio, you will have to enter a scheduled production time, available time for production, how many units you produced, what is the expected nominal production capacity of your process in parts per hour, and last thing you will need to enter the number of defective units that you have produced. These numbers will allow us to calculate 3 percentages. First, the percentages of availability of your production process or system or assembly line, which is in that case 87.50%. This is 7 hours of available time to produce parts on an 8-hour scheduled production times, meaning you add 1 hour of stops and failures that you need to repair. Second percentage I will calculate is called the performance percentage. If you run 7 hours and the nominal production capacity is 100 parts per hour, you are expected to produce 700 parts. And if you produce 680 parts because of some random, let's say, slowdowns or small interruptions in your process or failure, you will have a performance percentage of 97.14%. And if on 680 parts you produce 20 defective parts, scraps, you produce only 660 good parts on 680 parts which are produced, you will have a quality performance or ratio or percentage of 97.06%. OEE, overall equipment effectiveness percentage, will be the multiplication of these 3 percentages. You have the formula here. 87.5% multiplied by 97.14% multiplied by 97.06% will give you 82.50% of OEE performance, and you have the graphs with the bars that shows you in time your scheduled production time, your available time, the difference between 1 hour of failures and probably maintenance, corrective or predictive maintenance, your performance times given the nominal production capacity that you enter here, and your quality times. It means that if you schedule 8 hours of production and at the end you produce only 660 60 good parts, you have produced during 6.6 hours your 660 good parts on a 8 hours scheduled production time. So of course your OEE is less than 100%, is 82.5% in my case, with my data. This is how works this table for OEE calculation. If your project is about OEE, you will have to use this table. The last thing you will have to do, or you can do, is if you have defects, you can categorize them. You can take a sample of defects. You can calculate how many defects of this category, in my example missing screw, you have, how many defects in a flow category you have, insufficient weight, paint flow, assembly issue, missing joint, defective joint in my example. Then you will have this Pareto chart, which will allow you to understand what are the main categories of defects. And in fact, by applying the 80% 20% Pareto rule, you will find the 3 or 4 categories of defects that gives you more than 80% of defects, of total defects. And so it will allow you to concentrate your analysis later, in analysis phase, on these main categories of defects. And you have the same thing here on pie chart, if you prefer pie chart or Pareto. This is how it works. Thank you.